Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 2:33 a.m. and it is pouring down rain in Indianapolis tonight. I woke up. Well, I hadn't planned to sleep this late anyway, but I woke up and Boo Radley was like crawling at my chest. And I really couldn't figure it out. Because I'm like, there's no lightning, it's not raining outside. And I kept on kind of like moving him over to the side. And then all of a sudden it was like, this shot of lightning like went through our room and like lit up the bedroom. And he like darted up my chest, little guy. He's like so scared of storms. So I laid there with him just for a little bit. And I was like, it's okay, Boo Radley, it's okay. And then I was like, I need to go vlog. I was like, before it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And so here I am, out in the storm. Although it's like clearing up over here, so I don't know if maybe the storm is passing us now. It kind of seems to come and go. The storms always have a different smell, like in the summer, you know? It's funny, like, walk outside, you can smell the storm, you know? Reminds me of being a kid. We went to the pool today, got up. I actually got quite a bit of sun today at the pool. You probably can't see it. But usually I only get like sun from like here up because, well, like I have been because I've been getting in the pool and just like sitting in the pool. But I didn't today. I like laid out next to Alex. So it was like this whole side of like my front side of my body, my feet and everything all got a lot of sun today. I got up and I like looked outside. Ugh. It was like, it wasn't super early. I stayed up last night and I watched this documentary I'll talk about in just a second, but I think it was like 1 o'clock when I got up and Alex was playing Township on his phone and he was still in bed, and I got up and like shaved around my beard and brushed my teeth and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna go get coffee and I'm going to do a review video and then I'm gonna go straight to the pool. Do you want anything? He was like, yeah, I'll meet you at the pool. And I said, okay. So I got him, Alex drinks, typically he drinks a Trenta black iced tea unsweetened with no water. So, went to Starbucks, did the review, got the drinks. What's that in my bag? Oh, they're keys. And then I went up to the pool, and then he met me like 10 minutes later. And when I got to the pool, there was like one other couple there. They were there last weekend too. Alex noticed me, he's like, what's that same couple that was here last weekend? They're probably like Alex's age. They must live in our neighborhood somewhere. I actually met this new neighbor the other day that's like 2 condos over from us. And she's probably, well, I asked her what year she graduated from high school and she said 87. So she's like 3 years older than me. She's really nice. I was like, yeah, we always notice your cars because you have such nice cars. And she started laughing because she has like a Porsche Cayenne and like a Porsche Carrera. But anyway, she's got cute dogs too. Because you know I'm trying to be all neighborly this summer. some people just don't want to be kind of neighborly, I realize. Oh, shoot. I just dropped my lip balm down the side. There, I got it. So, when I got there today, there was like a mother and her daughter in the pool. She was like real little. The girl was, and mom was probably close to my age. Well, she was in kindergarten, I know, because I overheard this conversation later. That was so funny to me. And then she so anyway, so then she was there, and then this mom that was up there the other day that had her like son and daughter with her, and they were playing ball. I was telling you guys about. Did I talk about that on here, or was I telling Alex about it? I don't know. But they were up there, and then like he had like a friend with him. But it was interesting because she made a comment the other day, like when I was talking to her. She had like one of those, I don't know how to explain it. You know those things, like, a couple people have sent them to me. There's things that you like put water in, you know, and they keep it cold. She said something about, that's why she likes to drink on the weekends or something like that. She made some joke about having drinks on the weekends, and she kind of held that thing up. And so I was kind of like, I wonder, like, because today she didn't say like word one to me, and she sat right next to me. And it was also weird, like her husband kept on coming and like leaving, and like you could tell he didn't really want to like hang out like by the pool, but like he didn't want her, like the kids like left with him at some point, and like he drove them home, and then he's like, he came right back and he was like, are you and she was like laying out like right next to Alex and I, well like 20 feet away probably. They have it spaced out where you have to be at the pool. And he was like, are you gonna stay out here? And she's like, yeah, I'm reading my book. And he was like, okay. And like he came through the gate and was like talking, because we had like this big fence, you know, around the pool. And he was like, come here. And I couldn't hear what he said, of course, because I'm being Mr. Nosy, you know. And so she came up to the fence, and then I heard him say, well, let me in. And so like she went, because you have to have like a key to get in. And so she like let him in. But then they sat down at the other end of the pool, and then she came and got her stuff and left. But she was there like the whole time that we were. And like the other day, I was talking to her about all this kind of stuff, and she was super friendly. And I mean, I said something to her today, like just kind of like maybe she didn't recognize me or something, you know, like I thought we were good Judies now, you know, because we talked to the pool the other day. And I said something to her. I can't remember, I just like jokingly, like it was just like kind of like, you know, like Alex was like sitting there, and he was like adjusting his earphones. I don't know why Alex doesn't take his AirPods to the pool. He takes his earphones like with the cord. But anyway, she said something to like her son about like he like whipped this ball at her, and I said something like jokingly, and she was like, yeah. And that was all she said. I was like, oh, I guess we don't know each other anymore. And then the couple left, and then this older man and woman came with their daughter and her two sons that were probably like 3 and 5 or something. They were young. And so the entire shallow end became like this whole, like they left me kind of alone down the deep end, and Alex kept on getting in and out of the deep end. But they left us alone, and they were kind of down in the shallow end. Of course, like I'm just like bobbing around the deep end, just like sitting there talking, and Alex is like listening to music, so of course I can hear everything that's going on. And she's like, this one woman's like, it's so funny, people's like conversations they have in the pool. So the mom and the daughter that were there, they were like sitting on the stairs, and the grandmother of this other mom, she and the mom were like in the shallow end too, and they were kind of like on the other side, and the kids were kind of like playing in the middle. and stuff, and she was like, now, how old is he, and when does he go back to school, or how old is she, and when does she go back to school? And the mom said something, and she goes, I just thought this was the most ridiculous thing. I don't know, I started laughing. They kind of like turned and looked at me. I just was like, I don't know. Do you ever just like, it's like from Arthur, like where I say, you know, sometimes I just think funny things. I don't know why, this is just like the absurdity of the world that we live in now. I'm probably gonna offend somebody when I say this, but I apologize in advance. But like this one mom was like, or the grandma was like, now, when does she go back to school? And she was like, well, she goes to such and such academy or something. And like, I know like what that would be, because it would be through like a certain college here in town. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And she was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, there was a waiting list. And she goes, now, what year is she? And she goes, she's in senior kindergarten. And I just was like, oh, I was like, senior kindergarten, what is that? And the grandma goes, oh, well, he's in junior kindergarten. And I'm like, what is junior and senior kindergarten? Are we like this is like, people have lost their minds at this point, you know? Like, we've got all this juniors. And then the other mom was, the mom who's like, her mother was talking for her, was like, yeah, she was like, he's in junior kindergarten, and she's like, and he's in like daycare, but like preschool, but she didn't call it preschool. She called it something. She called it accelerated something. And the other woman was like, oh, she goes, oh, like Montessori. And she goes, no, like that, like real condescending to her. And the woman's like, oh, like, she's like, well, I've never heard of that before. And it was like, she's like, and then the other mom goes, so like a form of preschool? And she goes, no. Like both times, like real condescending. And she's like, she goes, there's no wait list. You have to be selected after testing. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this conversation I am listening to here at the pool? Please, somebody splash me or save me. You have to be selected at 3 years old to be in this pre-accelerated daycare. Oh my God. Anyway. So then the kid that was in, what do you call it? Junior kindergarten, like, got out of the pool and went running real fast, right? And then literally, like, if I was like, at this point, I was like sitting here with like my back against the edge of the pool, and I was just kind of listening, like closing my eyes and opening my eyes, and he like ran behind me and literally jumped like right to the left of my shoulder and like right over me, splashing the hell out of my face, right? And the woman she started yelling at him, and she was like, you're scaring grandpa, you're scaring grandpa. And I thought, I'm not grandpa. And she goes, I mean, completely oblivious to the fact that her kid just like almost like sank me in the water, right? And she goes, you're scaring grandpa. And grandpa is like on the side of the pool, and he is like half asleep. He could less be bothered with all this nonsense. And she goes, you're scaring grandpa, you're scaring grandpa. You're not supposed to be running around the pool. And so he starts swimming back over to her, and I looked over at her, and she was like, you can't run around the pool. She goes, you have to promise me, no running, no diving. And I said, and I looked at her and I go, and no having fun, like that. And I said it like, and I started laughing, thinking, you know, like she would laugh too, like kids aren't allowed to have any fun. And she looked at him and she goes, he's just joking, he's just joking. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is going on here? I go, yeah, I'm just joking. I go, I was just making a joke. So those people were not friendly whatsoever. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That kid will wake up, you know, 35 years from now, in the middle of the night. Something will be wrong with his life. This is like Pretty in Pink, you know. Something will be wrong with his life, but he won't be able to figure out what it is. And it'll be that day at the pool that his mom was talking about how, you know, he had to be pre-selected for daycare. Little did he know that what was missing from his life was that he was never allowed to just have fun. Although I will say one thing is at the pool, there's this one mom that comes, and I think she's a single mom, and because she, like, I was talking to her the other day, she's real nice, and the daughter said something about her dad, and she said, you see him next weekend or something like that. So I think she's a single mom, and I think she does live in our neighborhood, like not on the outside of it. But I said to her, I said, it makes me so happy that so many parents are getting in the pool with their kids. Like, my mom always did that. And I said, you know, my mom, I told her, I said, my mom always did. I said this to the other woman, too, that was playing ball with her kid. Like, those are some of my best memories where, you know, like, playing games with my mom in the pool and stuff like that. You know, it just makes me so happy that some of these parents, there's other parents that come and they, like, literally are, like, dressed in clothes the entire time that they're there. Like, they're not in swimsuits, they are not there to have any fun, they're there doing complete courtesy for their kids, you know? I'm just like, and this, I don't know, this one mom was like working on her computer by the side of her pool. I was talking about this the other day in my vlog because she was like laughing at something on the computer. Anyway, it was silly. I told Alex today, I said, you need to talk to me at the pool because I get so distracted by everything that's going on around me, watching everything that's going on. And then I was sitting there and like, it was really sunny today, and one cloud came over the sun and kind of like, you know, the sun kind of dipped behind the cloud, and I was like, oh. And it was like 3:45 at that point, and I wanted to make a couple of videos, but I was starting to get really tired. In all honesty, I could have just like laid down and taken a nap then. So I was like, I was just sitting there, and I had like been sitting outside of the pool, and I said to Alex, I said, oh, I wanted to run to the post office, and I said, I started putting it on my shirt, and I was like, I'm gonna leave and like go back, you know, I want to go to the post office, and then I want to make some videos. And he was like, okay, do you care if I stay here? And I was like, no, not at all. And so I left, and like 10 minutes later, I mean, it was like, I looked up at the sky when I was like driving over the post office, because I went home and I put on sweat shorts and I kept on the same t-shirt, but I put on sweat shorts so it would be, you know, more dry. And I was driving over the post office, and the entire sky was like dark. It was like all black in the distance, and like just like torrential downpour. It is cold in here. And then I just looked at the weather before I left, and it's supposed to be like 80% chance of rain tomorrow. Just kind of fine, to be honest with you, because like I could, like, I'm like really trying to go to the pool as much as I can, but I could sleep. Well, tomorrow I can't sleep in real late, because Alex looked at me today and was like, we're gonna do brunch tomorrow, right? Because we haven't gone out to dinner or anything this week. And I said, yeah, sure. So we're just gonna brunch tomorrow. But all of the restaurants for brunch are only open until 2 now. They're not open until 3. So we have to go earlier, which is whatever, but I just have to get up earlier. I've been posting so many videos on my channels that I've been thinking to myself that I kind of wanted just to take a day and just not post any videos at all. And I'm thinking I may do that tomorrow. I mean, obviously I'll post my vlog, because this is my vlog that I'll be posting, but I'm thinking that I may, like, on my other channels, although, you know what, I already have my Peterisms for tomorrow, because I filmed it, and then, I started to upload it, and I forgot that I was uploading it. So when I realized it and it was done, it was so late that I was like, I'll just post it tomorrow. I did that with my booktube video today. And I even scheduled the timing of my booktube video when I realized it. And it didn't go, it didn't like publish. It was supposed to go off at 1 o'clock today, and it didn't do that. So I guess it was tomorrow maybe or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was on the 12th that I have it scheduled for. But anyway, I posted it today. put it on public and published it on YouTube. That's what you call it, publishing a video, in case you didn't know. But anyway, I've just been posting so many videos. So in case something like, unless something like big deal, especially with the drama channel, unless something really big deal happens tomorrow, I think I'm probably just not gonna post videos over there, and then I'll have my vlog and my Peterson's video up. I need to do my TBR for the reading rush. So let me do the book deal real quick. I already did this on my vlog, but on my book vlog. The reading rush, which used to be Booktubeathon, it's a week-long readathon, is a week from tomorrow. It starts a week from tomorrow at midnight. It starts on the 20th. And it's 7 books, 7 challenges to try to see if you can read 7 books in a week. And there's like different, like, there's 7 different challenges. Like one of them is read a book that starts with the, and all this kind of stuff. So I've got to make my reading rush TBR like to be read, so I can post that. I need to sit down and actually figure out what I really want to read for that. So I'm gonna do that either tomorrow or Monday. I'm like having this weird feeling that, like, I had this dream about my mom. I don't know why. I was just like thinking about my mom, like really kind of hardcore. It was weird. And I was like, did I just like dream about her? Like have like this serious dream about her? I was laying there in bed with Boo Radley and I just remembered this. I had this dream and Alex and I were living in this like, kind of like this apartment. And it was like on the ground level. And it had like this like, it was like tenement housing. And my mom was living with us too. And we were like real poor. And it had like this cement fence around the downstairs, and you could like look out and see out in the street. And my mom was waiting tables, and she was working like doubles and triples. And it was like in the middle of winter. I don't know why I just remembered this. When I was laying there in bed. It gets real weird, I'll tell you. So anyway, I was laying there in bed with Boo Radley, and I woke up and I remembered this dream. So she texted me and she was like, I'm parking on the street. I'm gonna run in and get a couple hours of sleep, and then I have to be back at work at 8. And I was like, okay. She was like, please just watch to see me come in. And so I was like watching her, and we were like, Alex, like we had these like 2 beds, like we were all like sleeping and living in this one room, and it was kind of like dystopian world. And so anyway, Alex was like, we should go out there and get her. And so we walked out on the street to go get her, and it was Laura Lee. The beauty influencer on YouTube. Who I tweeted at her tonight because she was tweeting about unsolved mysteries. So I said something to her. I'm sure that's why I had a dream about her. But anyway, we were walking with her down the street. We were asking about her shifts, and she was like, it was really long tonight, I'm tired. And like in my dream, it was like I knew I was talking to my mom, but like when I was looking at her, it was Laura Lee. Do you ever have that? You know, like when you know you're like in your childhood home, but it doesn't look like your childhood home, or you know you're talking to somebody and you know that in your dream it's like your husband, but it doesn't look anything like your husband. Do you know what I mean? I always have this really scary thought, and it's only at this place right here, that I'm sitting here at the stoplight and somebody comes and runs up and just like comes at my window. They're like, let me in, let me in. I don't know why I always think that right there. I always think that would make a great idea for a book. Anyway. It's kind of like that movie, End of the Night. So that was my my dream that I had tonight that I remembered. Alex and Sarah went over to their friend Amy's house tonight, and Alex was like, just go with us, we're having a barbecue. I said, it's pouring rain outside. I don't want to go, because I know you guys were just going to sit around for hours on end. And I said, I'm not in the mood to do that tonight. he was like, okay, started laughing. He goes, you're probably right. And he goes, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna relax and I'm gonna finish this documentary that I started, and I'm gonna get some bad food. And I ended up getting Taco Bell. Although I didn't really eat that much. I got nachos Bel Grande, but I don't get beef on it, I just get beans. And then I got a bean burrito. And I finished watching the Jinx Monsoon documentary. So if you don't know who Jinx Monsoon is like the season, I don't know, 6 or 8 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. And it's just basically about her life and growing up and her siblings, her 2 brothers, and like their mom being an alcoholic, and although they don't really ever say that word, but and then like his creativity and how he got into like acting school and how he used his acting school to like pursue like being in drag. And it's just super, super inspiring to watch. And like, he is somebody that so like encompasses just be authentically who you are. And I just loved it so much. And it's interesting because, well, so the documentary is called Death Becomes Him. And the reason it's called that is because when he was growing up, he was obsessed with the movie Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, which apparently they're remaking. What's interesting about it is that there's another documentary that I just watched not too long ago called Moving Parts, and it's about Trixie Mattel, who is a winner of the RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. And it's done almost identically to this. It's told through different people's points of view, but really it just is like a point of view documentary that like follows with Trixie the whole time. And then like it leads up to Trixie finding out, you know, that she won RuPaul's Drag Race, and then what happens after that. And it's almost identical with Jinx Monsoon. It's almost kind of like there was a formula for writing this, and then they did it with 2 different people. My nose is driving me nuts. My allergies have been out of control. And every day I forget to take my allergy medicine until it's too late. I just don't want to take it, you know, because later in the day, I don't think it really does anything to me because it's that aloe vera that doesn't have any habit-forming things. So I just don't like to take it late in the day. I don't know why. But anyway, so they're almost identical and they're both very, very good. And it's also interesting to see, like, creatively, who they are as people. And it's just, you know, as someone who is extremely creative and starting projects and, you know, everything myself, it's interesting to watch somebody else's creative process, you know, and to see how they get inspired. Well, I think most of us out there are creative. I hate, like, one of the things I hate is when people will say to me, I'm just not creative at all. I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe that people aren't creative. I believe that most of us are creative. But I do think, you know, it's very much like right-brained, left-brained kind of stuff. I think there are those that are creatives, and I think there are those that are more analytical, and I think there are more, like, I'm not. Like, that's not who I am. You know, I don't, like, I'm not, like, math brain, numbers, whatever. And I know that there are people that love that, you know, and they just, like, live it, and they could just, like, you know, do it all the time. Like, they like, love all of that, right? And I'm not that person. I'm definitely more of a creative. And I just think it's what you're passionate about inside, like, as far as, like, what makes you tick and how you know, think and whatever. And I don't think one is better than the other. And I think in society, there's kind of like, all these trees are down, my God. I think there's kind of this, I don't know, like, this stigma, you know, that people that are real creative are artsy and left of center, and, you know, they're always liberal and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And that, like, people that are not are conservative and traditional, and, you know, that they're not free thinkers and whatever. And I just think that that's a bunch of crap. I just really think it's, like, what makes you, like, excited. It stopped. I just think it's like, you know, like what makes you excited? Like what do you like to do? Like, are you somebody that likes to organize? Are you somebody that likes to clean? Well, that's more analytical, right? Are you somebody that likes to, you know, like, I mean, I think cooking is a good example of something that can be analytical or it could be like creative. You know, it could be left-brained or right-brained. So I think it just depends. But it's always interesting for me. I mean, I've been like, since I was a little kid, I was always, when I think of the word creative, I think it means creating something, right? So I was always from a little kid creating like a puppet show or writing a book or painting pictures or, you know, like putting together whole show ensembles or, you know, practicing a monologue for an audition. I mean, I was always like creating something as a kid, you know, and I think people that are that way are like driven to have to like kind of complete some of these projects and like whatever. But like what was interesting to me is watching her documentary, or Jinx documentary, was how Jinx like taps into this like authentic weirdness. And you know what's interesting to me is like, okay, like my drama channel is a good example of this. I feel like I allow myself on my drama channel, well, I mean, like the drama channel, like me giving advice and things like that, that's 100% me, right? But like the weirdness with like the drama phone, like, and the singing of the songs and all that kind of stuff and the storytelling, like I feel like that's me being 20% like authentically, creatively me. But I hold back so much because I'm like, it's always that one comment or that two comments, you know, that people are like, this drama phone is so stupid, what is this? Or somebody will say like, you know, like, why are you rambling for 10 minutes or whatever? It's always those comments that, you know, like, make me kind of second guess myself sometimes. Not so much recently as in the past, but like, it's interesting like when I just allow myself to just have fun and just be in the element of like just having a blast over there. How many, now there are quite a few people that are like, this is not for me, and I get that, right? Like, it's not for everybody. But how many people are like, when I'm really tapped in, like totally tapped in to doing something that I love and just like my creativity is coming out, how many people are like, oh my God, I love this is hilarious, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, and that makes me so happy that other people enjoy that, something that I enjoy doing, you know, and they gain enjoyment from that as well. And Jinx talks a lot about that in the documentary, and there's something that he says in the documentary at one point that I really like. He says, something like, most people will never understand or enjoy like what you're doing. No. That's like one thing he says. Like, most people want to understand or enjoy what you're doing, but like if you're doing it for you, then, you know. But the thing he says is, millions of people will doubt you and tell you that you'll never be successful, but listen to the one that tells you that you will. And I think that's so important, you know? There are so many people out there that are naysayers, and they'll tell you, you can't make it. I mean, like, I feel so blessed that in my life, you know, I've had people around me. I've always been surrounded by people that were supportive of whatever I wanted to do, you know, even from a very, very young age, you know, like my mom and my dad and my aunt, my uncle, everybody, you know, all of my aunts and uncles and parents, friends always encouraged, you know, me to do what I wanted to do. And I know that there are so many people out there whose parents told them, and we're not talking about, you know, when I would say things like, I'm going to move to New York City and be an author and live in the village, you know, and I was, you know, 12 or something. My mom would say, I think that's great, you know, like, you got to live your life, you know, and And she'd say, you know, when I was your age, I wanted to live in San Francisco Harbor and be a trial attorney, and I might still do that, you know? My mom never ruled anything out. And then as I got older, you know, I met people, and I had friends who, like, they wanted to be, like, doctors, you know, or they wanted to be, like, nurses or doctors, and their parents were, like, so set on them being attorneys because it was their dream, you know? Well, that's not a very realistic dream, to go be a doctor. Well, why isn't it, you know, or... I think, like, you know, I've met so many and had so many friends of mine that are parents that, like, but my aunt and uncle got really upset with me I remember one Christmas. This is probably like 2 Christmases before my aunt passed away, maybe 1 Christmas before. We went out to dinner, we were at Capri on Christmas Eve. I'll never forget this. And Caroline's son David did not get the greatest grades in high school, just like Caroline and I didn't. I mean, Caroline didn't get any better grades. I mean, she got better grades than I did in high school, but she was, like, neither one of us were, you know, pulling honor roll or anything. And they were really getting on him about, like, his grades and stuff like that. And what are you going to do about this? And, you know, Grandma and Poppy got you, like, tutors and whatever. And you could tell he was, like, real, like, he didn't want to have the conversation. And I looked at him and I said, you know what, David? I said, look at me. I said, I graduated with a 1.86 and I'm doing just fine. And my uncle was like, why would you tell him that? And I'm like, because, Uncle Dave, I think it's important for him to know that you don't necessarily have to be the academic, you know, #1 in your class to think that you can be successful in life. Why would you tell him that? Tell him basically that he can fail out. I said, no, I'm not telling him that. I'm telling him to don't ever give up on your dreams. I said, he loves drumming, he loves music, he's obsessed with music, he wants to go to school for music production and do things to do with music and photography. He loves photography too. I said, you know, and my uncle was like, why would you I just kept on saying, why would you tell him that? And later, you know, we had a conversation about it, and I said, Uncle Dave, I said, he goes, I'm sorry that I said something. I was like, no. I said, I'm sorry that we got into it. I said, I love you. I said, but listen, I said, if when I was David's age, everyone was down on me about my grades, which a lot of people just didn't even say. My parents didn't say anything about my grades. I just look back on that, and I'm like, I think it's so bizarre. You know, Caroline and I have talked about that. And I said, but like, and you know, maybe if they had, my grades would have been different. Who knows? I don't know, you know? I think at that point, my parents were like, we've gotten the tutors, we've done this, we're not, like, we can't force this, you know? And, but I said, I think, you know, like, if somebody had told me when I was in high school, like, you could go to hair school, you could go to technical school, you could, you know, pursue music, you could pursue whatever you want to pursue. There's programs out there for you. It doesn't have to just fit inside this very specific box. You could go work at a factory, you know, and do 9 to 5 and enjoy your life outside of it. Maybe your life doesn't have to be about what career you have, you know? That this idea that we were formed as we grew up, you know? I can remember later meeting my friend Scotty, and Scotty made very good money working at Seymour Tubing, this factory in Seymour, and worked, you know, a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, clocked in, clocked out, got these ridiculous bonuses. You know, here I am working in a treatment facility, making sure that, like, we're doing everything we can in a year to get our bonuses, and we get some, like, $200 or $400 bonus or something, and Scotty's getting 5,000 quarterly bonuses. It just was ridiculous to me. And I can remember thinking to myself, there's a part of me that would have really loved this very blue-collar life where I just worked 9 to 5, clocked in, clocked out, had every weekend off, and I lived in a small town. I loved that. I loved everything about it, you know? And, there was something that was enjoyable about that to me. That my life did not have to be dictated or defined by a career. Like, I think we think that a lot in this world, You know, and when I say things like pursue your dreams, pursue what you want to do, like I am talking about that. But your dreams that could be that on your time off after work, you're pursuing community theater or crocheting. God, Mel, my book club partner, she is like obsessed with crocheting. She loves it. She loves with coming up with new ideas and finding pictures and looking at all this kind. I mean, she's obsessed with her crocheting, and it's so fun to listen to her talk about it because, like, I don't know shit about that. You know what I mean? And it's just like fun to listen to her, and she's so great at it. But she doesn't have a career around crocheting. You know, if she tomorrow, like, it could, I don't even know. Like, she loves her job so much that I don't think, and she takes a lot of pride in her job, that I don't think if tomorrow, like, let's just say she could make what she was making in her job crocheting, I don't know that she would quit. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the other thing is a lot of people like to keep their hobbies. But I just think it's important for all of us to know that, like, there's a part with Michelle Visage, who's one of the judges on RuPaul's Drag Race, and she's talking to Jenks, who actually goes by his boy named Jarek through most of the documentary, but the lightning. And a lot of the queens that have, because like a lot of them go on tour afterwards, and Michelle Visage goes on this tour with them. It's called, like, I can't remember what it's called, this specific tour, Battle of the Seasons or something, and she hosts it, I think. And so Jinx says something about Michelle Visage, like, always wanting the best for them. And, like, on the show, he saw her as saying, like, really critical things. And she says, no, it isn't about that at all. She was like, it's about, I don't see anybody else as your competition. Like, I don't want you to change and do your makeup different or have your style be different. She goes, I want you to be the best version of you. And she said, and when you're not, I can see it. Like, I can see it on stage that you're not being the best version of yourself. And I thought, God, that's so true, though. Like, you know, when you go to listen to, like, you go to a concert or a band, right? And it's like, if you've ever heard, like, the same person in concert, like, 6 times, right? And you can say to yourself, oh, like, if you're talking on the way home and you're like, oh, like Lady Gaga or something, right? And you're like, oh, she was good, but she wasn't as good as the last 2 times that we saw her, right? And it's like, maybe she wasn't her best that night. You know what I mean? And I think, like, there's something about that is true to all of us. Like, are we living our best in that moment? You know, like, are we being the best version of ourselves that we can be? Are we, like, plugged in, like, 100%? Or are we just kind of, like, halfway coasting through what we're doing? I mean, it's a really great question, you know? Like, how driven are you? How hard are you working? You know what I mean? Like, on being the best version of yourself that you can be. I think it's an important question. I really do. So, if you have any interest in RuPaul's Drag Race and you have American Pie, I was going to say, if you have Amazon Prime, which I'm just going to refer to as American Pie from now on. If you have Amazon Prime, go over there and check it out. It's called Death Becomes Him, and it's really good. And Moving Parts with Trixie Mattel is good too. But I think you have to pay to rent that. And they're basically the same thing, just different drag queens. Not really. I guess not really. I don't know. I mean, you get to see their different artistic art forms, so it's completely different, I guess. But the storyline's very similar. So I finished that tonight, and I ate my Taco Bell. And then I laid down with the dogs. And, I fell asleep, like, really quick. I laid down at, like, well, I set my alarm for 12:20 because I was going to get up at 12:20 and go vlog. And so I set it for like an hour and 35 minutes. So what would that have been? 12:20 to 11:20, which means it would have been like 10:45 that I laid down. So at like 11 something, like 11:15, like, oh, this was so weird too, you guys. I, like, sat up. Well, I didn't sit up. I, like, woke up, and I looked over, and I could see, like, Boo and Tucker, and, like, Boo, like, lifted his head up. I swear, I told Alex this, I swear Boo looked at Tucker and said, somebody's here. And Tucker said, I can hear him downstairs. And then they started barking. I swear I thought I heard them say that. They had this conversation. It was the weirdest thing. Because then I was like, hello? Hello? And Alex was like, I'm home. And I was like, okay. And I opened the doors and let them down there. And I was like, I swear I just heard those dogs talk. Like, that was the weirdest. I'm like losing my mind. I was like, that is the weirdest thing in the whole world. So anyway, yeah. Then he came upstairs and he was in bed and he was like playing Township. He's obsessed with that game. So I was like asking him all these questions. I was like, he was showing me his town. And I was like, do you have a zoo? And he was like, yeah. And he was showing me a zoo. And I go, do you have a water park? And he goes, it's under construction. And he showed it to me. And I said, is there a lazy river in your water park? And he was showing it to me. And I was like, do you have a hospital? I said, do you have, what else did I ask him? Hospital, library. And then he showed me the school and the university. He showed me like everything. And then he like went and he showed me other people. And he goes, these are like fans of yours. I go, fans of mine? I have fans? He goes, you know, people that subscribe to your channel. I go, oh, okay. He goes, these are people that like, they found me because you talk about me playing this game. And he goes, and these are their towns. So he was showing me their towns as well, which is real fun. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. He goes, okay. Do you know what sounds really good, besides my ice cream that I have at home, are like those crunch donuts. I don't know why I think those sound so good right now. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to get some of those, oh my God. I wish we had like a drive-through Krispy Kreme here in Indianapolis. Well, we do have a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's not open at 3:20 a.m. But don't you wish it was? Don't you wish your donut was hot like me? Don't you wish your donut was hot like me? Don't you? Don't you? Okay, this book that I'm listening to on Audible actually is really good. It is so cheesy, the way that it is written. It's called 10, and it's by Jessica McNeil. The dialogue is so completely cheesy, but this girl, like, she's like the main character, and she's like, how could I ever betray my best friend with having feelings for the boy that she's in love with? And then he's like, can I have a kiss? Said TJ. No, I could never do that to her. Well, maybe just a smooch. I mean, it's so bad. And some of the words they use, it's like, she straight up wants to say, like, you can tell she straight up wants to say, like, F-bombs and stuff like that, but she won't, because it's supposed to be, like, a young adult book, so she's kind of, like, talking around it. Although, I didn't even know it was a young adult book when I bought it. I was gonna finish it last night, but I just wasn't in the mood. Oh my God, I forgot! I cannot believe, I just woke so many people. So many people were like, oh my God, I was asleep with your ASMR vlog. I found what I was looking for last night. Okay, the girl's name is not Jenny Livingston. That's from Paris is Burning. The girl's name was Jenny Foster, okay? And the documentary is on the same YouTube channel that the other one was on, The Living Dolls, but I didn't even go in there to look. I had to like look up something else. I found it on a forum board, and the documentary was on A&E, and it was called Baby Beauty Pageants, and it had like, the woman's name that runs the pageant is called like Sweethearts of the South or something like that. I watched like 4 episodes of it, okay? There's like 9 or 10 parts, well, it's not episodes, but it's like 10 parts to it. Because they've cut it down into like 6 or 9 part videos. Her name is Rosalind, or Roxanne, I think is her name. And she runs this thing, and at pageant headquarters, they call it. And, oh my God, I watched the part. They don't go to Walmart, they go to Target. And they go to Target real early in the morning and they're buying like all the shoes and stuff for it. And then they have to go and they have to get portrait pictures taken for the pageant. It costs like $4,000 to enter this pageant, and that's like in the late 90s, early thousands. Can you imagine? But anyway, the Jenny Foster girl is in it, and it's so sad seeing her, like knowing she's passed away and stuff like that. And I didn't look into anything else, but supposedly, because I mean, it's really hard to find anything about this. If you guys want to see it, if I remember, I'll link it below. It's on this channel, and it's called like Lindsay Marie. So just look up Lindsay Marie and Living Dolls or Lindsay Marie and baby beauty pageants. I think it's so funny that this one person has them both on there. Thank God. I don't know what I would do without her. Has them both on this YouTube channel. And it's really a good, what do you call it? Like, not version, but copy of it. It's like by One Media or something like that. So each episode is like, or each part of it is like cut down into smaller pieces by this One Media, I think is what it's called. And they're really good copies. So like you can see like, I mean, it's perfect. It's like you're watching it on TV. It's so good. So I went home last night, that's what I watched. And then I started the Jinx Monsoon thing. So I stayed up way too late last night. I stay up way too late every night. And I'm like 4 vlogs behind of Stephen Hill's and I need to catch up. And he did his vlog tonight, the one that he posted, was with his mom, and I really want to watch that one. I haven't watched, I haven't finished the Linda Jackson one yet. I want to watch that all the way through. And I want to watch the one with his mom. And then I have like 2 others that I need to watch. There's only just so many hours in the day, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to think that the weekend is almost over already. Monday I have a haircut, and something else on Monday I have to do. Every day that it's sunny, I'm going to try to go to the pool at least for an hour, is my plan. Because see, I always get like so like, I get my coffee and then I get so driven to be like, videos, I want to make videos, I want to do this and I want to do that, I want to make all these videos, that I'm like, oh, I don't possibly have time to go to the pool. But you know what, I have to have this mindset, at least during the summer while I can go to the pool, that like, okay, for right now, I should go when I can, because when the fall comes back around, I'm not going to be able to go to the pool, right? I can, you know, get up then. But like, if I get up early enough, then I can go to the pool for a couple hours. It's so nice, you guys. It's so relaxing. And just to sit in the pool. I mean, I just feel so blessed that I have that life where I can do that, you know? And like, I've never really taken advantage of it the last couple years. And I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of it this year. Like, I'm going to really enjoy just being in the pool when I can. So if it doesn't rain, I like to try to go up to the pool. I mean, if it's cloudy, I don't love to go up there. But if it's sunny, I like to go to the pool for like an hour or 2, you know, and really enjoy it. Those crunchy donuts, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Those little donuts that come in like the pack of 6 and they have like, they're called like crunchy or something. I love those. Do you know where I haven't been since, I mean, I haven't been in probably a year, and I bet it, I know I haven't been there since the COVID, but I bet it's been a year since I've been there as the library. I haven't been to the library in so long. Miss it. I love the library. I haven't really gone to the bookstore either. I've gone to the bookstore maybe like once. Maybe I need to go to the bookstore to try to find something to read for. Oh, my hair looks so bad tonight, doesn't it? Something to wear for the, or what? Something to wear. Something to read for the reading rush, but I don't know that I really want to pick it apart that much. I really just kind of want to pick books that I think I'll really enjoy reading, you know? I actually wanted to see if they have, because one of the audiobooks I was going to do, you know, the other thing that you can do, here I'm going to pull into this little area right here. One of the things you can also do is you can like combine challenges, right? And so, just in case, like I don't do very well in the reading rush, if I read the book The Deep by Peter Benchley, okay, and I listened to it in my car, that would be the movie one. That would also be a book that starts with the, and that would be reading a book completely outside. But now watch, I bet you that they don't have it on Audible. Yeah, it's not pulling up. I think it's short. Oh wait, they do have it. Oh, they do have it. A young couple go to Bermuda on their honeymoon. They dive on the reefs offshore looking for the wreck of a sunken ship. What they find lures them into a strange and increasingly terrifying encounter with past and present, a struggle for salvage and survival along the floor of the sea in the deep. I may actually read, I don't know why, I'm not scared to death out here in the middle of this like woodsy area, but here's one called Thresher. What's this about? In the aftermath of a hurricane, a series of strange events plague the coastal waters of Florida. People go into the water and never return. Corpses of killer whales drift ashore, ravaged with enormous bite marks. A fishing trawler is found adrift with a mysterious gash in its hull. Transcend to the coastal town of Merritt. Police officer, this is actually good. I might read that. What is this Michael Crichton book I've never read before? Eaters of the Dead. Where am I out of time? Oh my god, my battery's gonna die here just a little bit. About almost at 30 minutes. So I think I've got that book figured out. Because I want to read all the Peter Benchley books. I read Jaws. There's another book he has called The Trench or Shark something or whatever that I've read a long time ago. Or The Beast. I think it's called The Beast, maybe. And I love the movie The Deep anyway. So you're supposed to read a book that you've seen the movie of. And I've never read the book The Deep. So that would be a good book to read for the reading rush. And it accomplishes 3 challenges. Let's see. And if there's like a pearly white color on the front, that's 4 challenges. So anyway, I could just read one book and I've accomplished all the challenges. But that's not the idea. You want to try to read as much as you possibly can. But I do think that that's going to be the book that I'm going to pick for my movie one. And then I don't know what else I'm going to pick. I think I'm going to do like 2 or 3 audiobooks and then like 4. I think I'm going to do 1 graphic novel and 3 paper books is what I'm going to do. I don't know what graphic novel I'm gonna pick. I've got so many at home. It stopped and I didn't know it. I have so many great graphic novels at home that I want to read that I haven't finished. I have Anne of Green Gables. I have The Diary of Anne Frank. I've really wanted to read that one for a while. I have A Wrinkle in Time. I have like the first four volumes, or not first four volumes, first four, what do you call it, graphic novels of The Walking Dead. I feel like I have other ones too. I don't remember. But anyway. But they're like graphic novels. Like, they're like beautiful editions of it. I have Clue, which I got for Spookathon like 2 years ago and never read because like it was too hard to read, because that was when my eyes were starting to change and I needed reading glasses for everything. It really sucks wearing reading glasses, and like I'm at the point now where I have to have them for, like, anytime I read, like on the computer even. And the thing that sucks about it is that like when you have them on, you can feel like I'm a 1.5, but like it's probably a little strong for my eyes, but it makes everything so like a 1.25 doesn't do it. So, but the thing is like you can feel it like strain your eyes when you're like using them. But then when you take them off, it's like for like the first 5 or 10 minutes, your eyes are like shifting and adjusting. So it's kind of like you're like in and out like this. Just it sucks wearing them, you know? Those are like one of the things about getting older that like nobody tells you about. Like I never thought, like that's probably one of the biggest things that I deal with getting old, that I've dealt with getting older, is two things. My metabolism completely shifting, and which I can remember back in the day being like, I will never put on all this weight and blah, 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 and all these people talking about their metabolism. It's true. I'm telling you right now, I could eat the way that I eat. I cannot eat anything anymore without gaining weight. Back in the day, and I don't eat healthy. I mean, I know that. I'm not acting like I'm sitting over here eating carrots every day, you know, wondering why I'm putting on weight. But back in the day, I could eat what I ate, like in a day. I literally ate once today, and I had nachos Bel Grande and a bean burrito. It wasn't like I ate 6,000 calories. You know, back in the day, oh no, that's not true. I did have a couple cheese sticks with chips, the Gouda cheese, because I love it because it's so Gouda. But back in the day, like I could eat that and like just walk around and be active for the day and lose weight. I cannot do that anymore. My metabolism has totally changed. That and the reading glasses thing. The reading glass thing really totally sucks, because I have to have them for, I mean, to read anything. Almost always to be in front of the computer now too, or my eyes will hurt. And those are things I didn't think about. And my battery is flashing, so when I get up here, I'm going to change it. Where is my other battery? Please be in here. I don't really want to change it on this road right here to the Fox Hollow Farms. That spooks me out too much. Do you ever like listen to a song on your iTunes and then you get it stuck in your head and you can't get it out of your head? Why was I like looking in the rearview mirror of that and I saw a car behind it, but there's no, I can't see a car in my rearview mirror. That's so weird. But in my camera I could see like a car back there. Like a red light. That was so bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna change this battery. Look, do you see that back there? Is that my car doing that? Okay, I've totally spooked myself out. I think what's happening is I'm braking, yeah, and it's like shining off the sign that I passed going the other way. Because that like freaked me out. I was like, there's no car behind me, but I'm seeing a red light back there. And I should never have mentioned Fox Hollow Farms because that completely freaked me out. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now so I can listen to a little bit of my audiobook. Get back into the world where there's like more people instead of it just being out here in the country, which I'm actually passing a school right now, so I'm not so much in the country, but freaked me out. I sometimes look in the back seat, I'm like, it scares me. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off here now so I can listen to my scary audiobook. If you guys made it this far in the vlog, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please leave a blue heart for the OG Wolfpack. That's all of us out there just trying to get through life, you know, one day at a time, and putting some positivity and love and kindness and compassion out there in the world. If you liked this vlog, please give it a big thumbs up if you liked this video. Also, make sure that you're still subscribed to my channel. I'm assuming that you've already subscribed. I can't imagine. Oh, whoa, little lake on the side of the road over there. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to subscribe to my channel, but if you haven't already, please consider doing so, and please consider subscribing to all of my channels. I have 4 other channels as well. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. Have brunch. Well, it's probably past brunch time when I post this. It's hot in here. Take a nap. Watch a new TV show. Watch a good documentary. I gave you the recommendation of Death Becomes Him about Jinx Monsoon, which is fantastic. Start a new craft, start a new hobby, do something that will make you happy, hang out with some friends or family. I don't know, call somebody, you know, whatever. Also, do something that will make yourself proud when you look. By the way, Sunday is my favorite day of the week. I love Sundays. It has always been one of my favorite days. Also, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it, whether that's, you know, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month or next year or 5 years from now or 10 years from now or 20 years from now or 60 years, 50 years from now or 60 years from now or 69 years from now, family friendly, or 80 years from now or 88 years from now or 100 years from now or 110 years from now or even 120 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like you are valuable. And every night before you go to bed, look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation like you are valuable or you are beautiful. And every night before you go to bed, say to yourself, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I need to get my emotions out. Hopefully spend some time with friends and family if I can. If I can't, then I'm going to spend some time with myself and just enjoy that time alone. And I'm going to take a nap and eat great food. And if I have to work, I'm going to be happy while I do it. And I'm going to take time doing my hobbies and things that I am passionate about. And I have great opportunities come my way all day tomorrow, and I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track and I start getting negative, well, I can turn my day around whenever I want. I can just go in the other room and say, I'm turning my day around. Be in a better mood starting from now. I'm going to start my day over. You can start your day over whenever you want. And then when you get up in the morning, say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I need to. I'm going to feel my emotions. I'm going to spend time with friends and family if I can. If I can't, I'm going to enjoy my time alone. I'm going to just, you know, have an amazing day and eat great food and participate in the hobbies and crafts that I want to and passions. And I'm gonna have great opportunities. Did I say eat great food? I'm like thinking of those donuts right now. I'm wanting to get some of those donuts up here. And oh, I do need to get gas. I'm low on gas, so I have to pull in here to get gas anyway. Yeah, but all of that. And if I have to work, well, I'll do it with a smile and try to enjoy it as best as possible. And I'm gonna have great opportunities come my way all day long, and I'm gonna have positive experiences all day long. And if my day starts getting negative, well, I can turn my day around and I can start my day over whenever I want, just like that. Say I'm gonna start my day over right now. I'm not gonna go down this negative road anymore. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just text them or call them and say, hey, I just want to let you know I was thinking of you. Even just a postcard or a letter. And just, it's really nice to get letters in today's time, you know, from somebody saying, hey, I just was thinking of you. We should all do that. We should all write a letter to somebody and just be like, hey, I just wanted to think, even if it's somebody that we see all the time. Maybe I'll do that for Tanya. Because we don't get it. Any of us get that much personal mail anymore like that. It's always bills and, you know, crap in our mailbox. It'd be nice to get a nice handwritten letter from somebody that cares about us, wouldn't it? Also, practice random acts of kindness. If you actually write somebody a letter, put it in the comment section below. I want to know. I want to know if somebody did that, because then it'll inspire me to do it. Also, practice random acts of... I love when people put Christmas lights on their little patios, just like cheer them up so much. It's a little apartment patio back there that has the Christmas lights, the white Christmas lights on it. I love that so much. It's just small things like that that make me happy. Also, practice random acts of kindness. But like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Just do it because it's the nice thing to do. Why wouldn't you want to do it? Why wouldn't you want to be a nice person? And, no, but seriously, I know I could do a better job of putting positivity and love and kindness, compassion out there in the world. So let's all try to do a little bit better job of doing random acts of kindness. And I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And, go check out Steven, his vlog, don't forget. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!